There's nothing wrong with that, but as you know from having been in this for a while and studying it, it takes time to fully understand how important this is and how much it's going to keep going up for a very long time. Yes, Laura, a sale will never end. That is, I agree with him. I'll give you a perfect case. A lot of cases have been used. I bought Microsoft when it went public, which was around 1984 or 1985, right? I made 3 times as much money. There was a condo I needed to buy. It was sold. As the head of a gold stock fund and an advocate for sound money, Lawrence Lepard spent decades telling investors that they should buy gold instead of fiat currencies because fiat currencies are always losing value. After Bitcoin came out, Lepard's job became easier because the top cryptocurrency is now the better option, a digital gold. If you will, that offers enough pros. During his conversation with Alex Jordan, Lepard says that the banking system will completely fall apart and the world will move towards a Bitcoin standard between 2028 and 2038. The Strauss-Howe generational theory helps Lepard figure out when the cycle started and when it's most likely to end. Almost the whole financial system crashed in 2008, he says, starting a new cycle that is moving quickly if the world's $315 trillion debt load is any sign. Please watch all the way through, give it a like, and subscribe for more cool movies about Bitcoin and other digital assets. Thanks and have fun. This is a picture that was made by a friend of mine, Dan Oliver. He is a very smart money manager and runs a gold fund. He also made a graph of the price of gold and the Weimar mark in terms of gold during the Weimar era. And what you saw was a huge range of emotions. And this is because the government at the time would say in a statement, "Oh, we're going to stop printing, we are going to use gold once again. Things are fine, you know. Relax. There's no need to stress over taking your grades and hanging on. You have your marks. Of course it would be patriotic." That's what they would say. "Okay, everyone, that's great, that's okay, yeah, we believe you, government." Also, the price of gold would go down in marks or Weimar's money. Of course, the next day, a month later, the news came out that we printed some more money. Oh crap, in that process you saw the people of Germany slowly but surely realize they can't stop. They won't stop. On the other hand, there are stories about how comedians used to say in bars that the only people who laughed at their jokes were those who had pounds, dollars, or gold as money. It becomes self-fulfilling when everyone in the country knows the currency is a joke and losing value. Because a currency is exactly what it sounds like, it's the way that we all trust to pay for things. It should also keep its value over the middle term. And we've shown that it can lose 7% of its value every year for a long time and still be around. When it starts to lose value, like when it loses 10% a month, that's called hyperinflation. 50% a month is what hyperinflation means. And there have been more than 100 hyperinflations in the last 200 years. Also, it's not too bad here in Turkey right now. Venezuela had a very bad one where their money lost all of its value. There have been many other times like this. You just go through Hungary or Zimbabwe. There are a lot of them. They all seem to have the same pattern. The currency starts to fall, slowly at first, then faster with bigger changes. Soon everyone is like, "Oh, this is it, I'm out of here, I'm no longer holding this." And, it kind of looks amazing. If you look at, I can't remember what I was looking at the numbers on Turkey and what people were buying and how much things cost in Turkish. Please, the franc isn't that right. The Turkish lira. Lira, I'm sorry, yes. And the Turkish lira makes everything 200 times more expensive than it was a few years ago. I've been there. Yes, it's crazy, right? I'm going to buy a cheap suit now. Yeah, what's going on is crazy, true, but in the case of the Weimar Republic, some people came from places where the currency was strong and thought they were getting a great deal. But you're right, I think what you described happens because, the whole supply line gets messed up. How are the makers supposed to know what to buy and when to buy it when inflation is that high? Having low prices depends on an efficient supply chain and good knowledge. Do you understand what I mean? It's kind of like DDoS. Okay, like way too many things to ask for. Right on, you're trying to run this business, so yeah, like what the hell? I don't know what to charge anyone when prices are going up. My providers either rip me off or they don't. It's really hard. People are scared about the US economy right now. Jam Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan, said some very bad things about the US economy on Thursday at the AllianceBernstein Strategic Decisions Conference. He said that if the government doesn't control its spending, it will cause stagflation, which is a terrible mix of high inflation, high unemployment, and low growth. Like Jim said, I think about all the great financial and tax help that has come my way in the last 5 years. How do you know it won't cause stagflation? It could happen, but I'm ready for it. This was similar to what the CEO of JP Morgan said to reporters at his company's annual global summit in Shanghai. He thought that inflation was a much bigger problem than the Federal Reserve was letting on. He said, "I believe inflation is stronger than most people believe most of the time. I think the odds are better than what other people think. This is because the system still has a lot of fiscal and monetary support, which may still be driving some of this liquidity. I think about all the outcomes that could happen, and once more, the worst one for all of us is stagflation, which means higher rates during a slump. Let's watch the movie again with Leopard. Wall Street is there because they think it will make them money. That's how it always starts. That's right, it always does. They don't care about how Bitcoin affects society. I mean, I like Bitcoin because the value is going up, and I'm not stupid. It's clear that I'm doing this to keep my money safe and maybe even make it grow. I think the most beautiful thing about Bitcoin is that it will make the world a better place. Because I believed in sound money and gold even before Bitcoin. So you can see that if you study basic Austrian economics, you listen to all the greats and understand that sound money is necessary for a society to be civil and advanced. It really is. It's also a part of how society has become worse. It's amazing how much the United States has changed since 1971. I remember being a teenager in the 1970s. It all has to do with safe money. It all has to do with safe money. So what was your question again? What did you ask about the financialization of? Yes, you know about Wall Street and the spread of money. Going back to Wall Street, yes. It's clear that some of them are just standing there and thinking, hey, look, we can get 20 bips on trillions of dollars. Let's do it. Some of them seem to kind of get it and understand it. A rich friend of mine who I just talked to recently said, I don't know, man. I think a lot of them are going to make the same mistake. I don't remember when it was 50,000 when I spoke. My average cost was a lot less. He said, God, you told me about it when I was 25. I should have bought it, then it's gone up 100%. How do I get it? I told him, dude, you don't get it. Does it matter if you paid $50 or $25 for $1 million? You got twice as much, so it must matter. The point is that it's getting so much higher. So I think a lot of people on Wall Street will do the stupid thing and sell it when it's up 200%. Do you understand? I think a lot of people will make that mistake because they don't really know what they have or how far this can go. So, that's fine. That's their right to do. But, because you've been studying and working in this field for a while, it takes some time to fully grasp how important this is and how much it will keep going up for a very long time. Laura, sales will keep going up. That is, I agree with them. I'll give you a great example of what I mean. A lot of cases have been used. When did I buy Microsoft? It was in 1984, I think. 85 when it became public, right? I made 3 times as much money. There was a condo I needed to buy. Did I sell it? That was a mistake, right? Because it was the hardware that the PC software ran on. In the end, the Apple and everything else came out. But the point is that I felt great when I left. It looks like I've made 300% or about twice as much money, right? You don't sell something that is so important that it will change things over many years or decades. You don't sell it. It's kind of like, let's